Looks busy again this morning, hey Vanessa?
Always busy.
Yeah?
Yes. So we have some wonderful clear apples here. They're also called transparents. And they were given to us by friends who don't use their trees. So the tree is organic. They just grow like that. Wonderful. And so they're called clear apples, but also called transparent apples. And they're the first ones of the season. They're usually July. By beginning of August, they're ready to pick. So we had about 150 pounds here. Yesterday I finished 75 pounds. Today we have another 75 pounds. We have more over there to finish. Now what we are going to do with these apples, first of all, here we have the apple peel. I rinse them off first always. Yep. The apple peel, I want to show you what we do with that. Apple peel and the core. And you always have to open them up because they may have some worms, and that you have to discard. So we take the core out, right? Like this. Take this out, and this and this. Now these apples here, before I tell you about the core, these ones here, we put in a pot, tiny little bit of water so they don't burn, whole bunch of them in a big pot, and make applesauce.
See, you got lots here.
And you don't need a recipe for applesauce. You just cook the apples until they're soft. I take a huge whisk and just whisk it through, or you can put it through your blender, whatever you want to do. And then you add honey. I add honey. I don't add sugar. I like local, wonderful, organic honey to it. And then I add a little bit of my own gingerbread spice, but you can also add just a little cinnamon. And all you do is you do that to taste, and then you can them. Warm water bath is fine. You don't need to pressure can them. And here you have amazing, amazing applesauce, right? Organic, wonderful. So that's one of the things I do with the apples.
So the clear apple is not really sweet though, so now the applesauce
is a tart apple,
right?
Yeah, it's very good also for apple strudel. Yeah. So what we do is part of it, we cut the apples like this, and then we slice them like this, and I toss them a little bit in lemon juice. I have a big bowl, put a little bit of lemon juice, and constantly toss the apples so they don't get too brown. And then I put them in a freezer bag like this, mark it. Yeah. And this one is enough for one strudel.
Or a pie.
And we have, or a pie. Yeah. So we have quite, so this is the second part of what you use the apples for. The third part are the peels and the cores. And if you like to come over here, what we do here, we have two containers here, as you can see. One is here. This here could use a little more purified water. We'll just put them in a, this is a food grade pail. I didn't have enough in the crock. This is, of course, also food grade pail. The water in there. And then we add some honey to this. Yeah. I put probably 1.5 cups of honey in each one of them. Purified water. And I just found a little bit of it, but I had a whole cake of mother of vinegar, which is the substance that sets itself on the bottom of a vinegar bottle, and it actually produces more vinegar, right? Okay. And you need the sugar, the honey in it to speed it up. So this came out of here, but I have about a whole cake like that, halved it, put half in here, half in here. Okay. And then what you do is you cover it up.
So you're fermenting this like sauerkraut a bit.
This is a fermentation.
But you've added water though.
Vinegar, right? Yeah. You add of course. You have to cover it with water. Yeah. Like I have much more to go into this. Yeah. But what I will, and I'm glad you're saying something, what I will do eventually, I will take a big plate, put it upside down in here, just to submerge all the apple pieces. You just have to go like this, just to make sure they are submerged. And then I'll take a damp towel, and make sure it always stays damp. Right now it's not damp, but you know, you get the idea.
Yeah.
And you need the airflow, but you don't want to have the fruit flies in here.
Right.
And you just let it sit in the kitchen, watch it every day, stir it a little bit, make sure the apples don't come around here too much, because then this here will go foul. They will not ferment, they will go foul. Same like the sauerkraut, right?
And what does it end up to be?
That's going to be apple cider vinegar, your own organic apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
And you just taste it after a while, see how strong it is, how you like it, strain it, fill it into bottles.
Very nice,
Okay?
yeah.
Now, I have another way of using the apples. And what I do is they're tiny apples like these ones.
Yeah.
And they're very green, like they're
Yeah.
almost unripe green.
Right.
So I take these and these little ones, all the little ones. And what I do with them is I cut them in half and quarter them. Because see here, for instance, there's a little worm hole. So you don't want the worms in there. This goes in the compost. This goes in your compost. All the leftovers here go in the compost. This too, this too. And these ones go into a pot with a little water, just to cover it with water and cook them until they are totally soft. And simmer them for a little bit. And then you strain it out. And then you get a liquid like this here. See, like this here. And this is very concentrated apple juice. It's full of pectin.
Okay.
And because, why it is full of pectin? Because the apples are green, and the green apples have the most pectin,
Okay.
right? And what I'll do with this, I'll make apple jelly.
Apple jelly.
Apple
okay.
jelly. So
Yeah.
out of, just to summarize the whole thing,
Yeah.
out of this harvest of apples,
Yeah.
oh, what I also wanted to tell you, for the apple cider,
Yeah.
these yellow parts here,
Yeah.
not the rotten parts, but
Yeah.
these little yellow parts
Yeah.
go into the apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
They speed
yeah.
that up too,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So out of this you get applesauce,
Yeah.
you get apples for your pies and strudels,
Yeah.
you get your own homemade apple cider vinegar. We probably get about 2 gallons out of this, 1
Right.
gallon out of each.
Yeah.
And you also have of the little tiny apples, where people think, oh, we just discard them and throw them in the garbage,
Yeah.
right? You get your pectin, your apple pectin. You could also cook this down to about half
Mm-hmm.
and can it in little jars and use it as your own pectin to make other jams,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to buy your pectin, right?
Yeah.
And then you also have the leftover apples go in your compost.
Yeah.
And
So
all
you
the-
use every part of the apple.
everything is used.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is the beauty of this.
Yeah. It's
That
wonderful.
we get so many products out of a harvest of apples. Okay?
Okay. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Vanessa. That's
Thank you.
wonderful cooking class.
Thank you.
Yeah.